loves, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tims, and today we'll be discussing the 5 top places to visit when traveling to Tobago. So I've been to Tobago many times, and I'll just say that these are my 5 top places. But before we start with those top places that I consider to be my 5, I will just say that Tobago is part of a lovely twin island state that is known for its beautiful beaches, its lovely scenery, its tasty food, and its beautiful culture and people. So let's just get into my 5. So my number 1 place I would say would have to definitely be Stobe. Every time that I visit Tobago, I go to Stobe. Stobe, it's a beach located in Tobago, and it is known for its lovely clear crystal water, its beautiful ambience, and it's also known for its beach activities, some of which I'll get into later in this video, and also it's known for its food and its ambience. There are lots of food located in Stobe. There are different huts selling different kinds of food, but my favorite food to eat when I go to Stobe would definitely be crab and dumpling. It's one of their signature dishes that they sell there. I get it from one of the booths that's selling on the beach itself, and listen, perfect. You have to try the crab and dumpling when you go to Stobe. So my second top place to visit when visiting Tobago will actually have to be NYLON Pool. NYLON Pool is accessible by boat, and you can get those boats when you go to Stobe. There are a lot of persons that will come up to you actually offering you or selling you tickets to go out to see the NYLON Pool. I would suggest that you take up those persons on their offer to actually visit NYLON Pool, because when you take that boat and you go out into NYLON Pool, you're meeting basically what NYLON Pool is. It's a white sand pool out in the middle of the sea, and you're taking that boat to go out to that pool. And when you get out to that pool in the middle of the sea, you're coming out and you're bathing in that pool. It's crystal clear, the water is perfect, and the ambience and everything there is just beautiful. It's like anything you've ever seen. And you coming out of that boat in the middle of the sea just to bathe in that pool, amazing. That's my number 2 spot to visit when I go to Tobago. So on to number 3. I would definitely say that my number 3 spot would have to be Fort King George in Tobago. Fort King George was built by the Brits in the late, or early rather, 1970s. Fort King George is now a museum in Tobago, and when you go to Fort King George, it's the most beautiful view you'll ever see, because it's high up on a hill and you're overlooking the city, and it's just amazing for pictures. And the view up there, the scenery, just the air that you breathe when you go to Fort King George is so clean, and it's just beautiful. You have to visit Fort King George, and of course the pictures there that you get from Fort King George is amazing. Fort King George, I would say that the opening hours are basically 9 to 4, so you'll want to get there more early, because there are a number of persons that actually head up there to see the site. The museum itself, I would suggest that you go there inside the building to see what's in the museum, because there are lots of military stuff there that you can actually view. Ancient stuff, very historical stuff that you would see there. The view there is amazing. You could have lunch there, you can have a picnic there. There are persons that actually have small huts there selling food, so you can partake of that as well. There's local delicacies like sugar cake and tambran ball and stuff like that that you would like to patronize from the local vendors, of course, because you all know I like to celebrate local, spend local, shop local, everything local, right? So those are the things that you can get when you go to Fort King George. That is my number 3 take on visiting Tobago. Number 3, that has to be Fort King George, yes. Right, so my 4th spot to visit, or my 4th favorite place to visit when I go to Tobago, it's ARGYLE Waterfall. ARGYLE Waterfall is known as a 3-step waterfall that's located in north of Tobago, specifically in Roxborough. So if you're into swimming and you're into waterfalls and things like that, ARGYLE will definitely be the place to go. ARGYLE is beautiful. If you would like to get more information on ARGYLE, there are local persons there that will be willing to guide you. And ARGYLE, you have to of course be careful with that waterfall because it's a bit deep. but notwithstanding its beauty, you still have to be careful, okay? Argyle is definitely beautiful. A lot of people go there, so you try to get there a little bit earlier in the day. I think you do have to pay a fee when you go to Argyle, because the local persons require a fee when you go there, but nonetheless it's still very beautiful. And it's definitely one of our best waterfalls between both islands of Trinidad and Tobago, I would have to say. So Argyle is a must-see when you go to Tobago, right? And so on to my fifth favorite spot that I like to visit when I go to Tobago, and this is in fact one of my favorites. That will definitely have to be, it would definitely have to be that CASTARA dirt oven bread. So CASTARA is basically a little village in north of Tobago. I stand to be corrected on that, right? The village is called CASTARA, and when you go to CASTARA, they make breads. And the breads are locally made with local ingredients and everything. And there's a wide range of breads to choose from. But the thing about these breads is that they do make the breads in dirt ovens. And for those of you who aren't clear what dirt ovens are, it's ovens that were created with mud and clay, and it was molded outside. They push the breads in there to be baked, and when the breads come out, it's a phenomenal taste. It's a taste that you would never know that you can get from a dirt oven, and it has this smoky flavor, and the breads are just so well done. And that is one of my favorite things to eat, especially when I go to Tobago. And those ladies, they do it with grace, they do it with such poise. You have to try them when you go to CASTARA. The thing about that though is that when you go there, are a lot of persons that are waiting, so you would want to go much earlier just to partake of it, so that you don't have such a long wait like everybody else. And the breads are breads to die for. There's pumpkin bread, cassava bread, just to name a few. You have to try it once. You have to try those breads once you go to Tobago. And that for me, you guys, wrap up my top 5 places to visit when you go to Tobago. Like I said, those are my top 5, and you can feel free to share with me your top 5, and let's enjoy the island when you get there. I would like to also say that make sure to shop locally when you go there. Buy from the local vendors at the side of the street. Buy from the person selling by the beach. Buy from those little huts when you take your drive to CASTARA. You know, when you go to Stobie, buy from the little huts as well. You know, just support local, because the vendors really need it. And please enjoy responsibly. Don't drink and drive, and also do not litter on the island. The island is very beautiful and it's very clean, and you would want to maintain that and respect it. And so to end up my video, I just want to tell you guys, peace out until my next video of my top 5 things to do in Trinidad. See you guys then. Later.